John, a lot of people have been complaining about our sound lately.
Really? I think the microphone's fine. I mean, what's going on over there?
Come on, man.
We're paying you. One guy on the mend is Kodai Senga.
He's progressing well. He threw a live EP the other day. He's scheduled to throw a bullpen today before he goes out potentially in the middle of this week for a rehab assignment already. You know, I love seeing Senga in the dugout with a smile on his face. If we can get him here, it could be special.
Another guy who's been doing a lot of smiling recently, Jeff McNeil.
For him to get a 3-run homer the other day was huge for him, for the team. You know, if Jeff McNeil clicks, we're talking about
a long lineup.
Yes, a pretty deep lineup here.
And one important part of that lineup is Francisco Alvarez.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive because of the age. You know, he's only 22, and for him to be able to take charge and lead not only a pitching staff, position player group as well. So pretty impressive, and I'm just excited to have him on the team.
Hey, it's Vito Calisi, Jonathan Barron from Meet at the Apple, and we're here after a tough Mets loss. First series loss in the month of June. And we got an interview with Carlos Mendoza coming to you soon that was recorded before today's game. But, guys, it's been a while since we've had to do this. Just take your finger off the panic button, because at the end of the day, this is still one of the best Junes this team has had in its franchise's history. Things are still great.
It was a good homestand, all things considered. I mean, you have 5 games, 2 against the Yankees, 3 against the Astros. You go 3-2. Glass half full podcast right here at Meet the Apple, as you guys all know. So, I mean, yeah, like if I had told you right before this homestand started that 3-2 would be the record, will you sign for that? You're probably going to tell me yes. So, yeah, they let one slip away on Saturday, and we were just saying before we got going here, Vito, that rain delay, man, that was a killer.
Yeah, and you could tell. I mean, there was just so much momentum going into that.
Hits his 100th career home run, ties the game. Opposite field over the Great Wall of Flushing, by the way. Absolute bomb. Another clutch hit for Brandon.
Torrance throws a guy out. Like, you're going into that 9th inning feeling great. Astros made a bunch of just stupid base running mistakes that really were in our favor. And then yeah, look, it's baseball. Like, that was.
You got to tip your cap to the Astros. The Astros are red hot. They came in 7 straight wins. They've now won 8 of their last 9.
You could say this though, the rain delay helped the team the other day against the Yankees.
I guess. I mean,
look, the game, they were already leading. I'm not saying
that game was kind of over.
But I'm saying they came into that fired up. Sometimes a rain delay just kills your momentum, and that happened today. It's 3 hours. I'm a lot more tired than I was 3 hours ago.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't want to let what happened on Sunday or Saturday let us lose sight of the fact that one of the coolest things that I've ever seen at a sporting venue, and I think you guys have ever seen at a sporting venue, happened on Friday night. And that was a player who, look, a lot of athletes have made their own music. Ron Artest was a rapper. Shaq was a rapper. Darren Waller of the Giants does something, and we've said this many times with athletes we've spoken to and musicians we've spoken to, direct intersection between music and sports. And athletes want to be musicians, and musicians want to be athletes. And we said this to Jose himself when we talked to him. It's very rare that someone does both and does both well. Jose does both well. Another thing Jose does well is be a human being. He is a great human being. And
did you see the Mariners played a song pregame today?
I did not. That's awesome. That's great. I mean, he is beloved by all the players he's ever played with. He is a great teammate. There's a great picture of JD and him back in Boston in 2021. The Red Sox used to do the laundry cart celebration when you'd homer. You'd hop in the cart, someone would push you, and it was Jose pushing JD. And there's a reason why he is beloved the way he is.
He gave me such a nice hug recently. Yeah, he went to shake my hand, and then he pulled me. I didn't expect, and then he pulled me in for a hug. Yeah, and it was nice.
Yeah, so the outpouring of love that you saw from his teammates and the fans on Friday night, that was all real. And we said this to Mendy when we spoke with him earlier on Sunday morning. The love and the support and the outpouring of just all the emotions we saw on Friday when the team joined him at second base, it was because he is beloved. And also, that song is an absolute bop, as Marcy Canna tweeted on Friday. So, for a player to perform his own song on the field after a victory in what was a club environment here at Citi Field that led right directly into a fireworks show, it was absolutely amazing. So, I mean, it was a production on the inside. there was a lot of planning, obviously, and it happened pretty quickly because the song release on Friday came together pretty quickly. The song was supposed to be released this upcoming Wednesday on July 3rd, and Jose moved it up, and he owns his own music label. And when the news came out, it became okay. Like, this would be amazing if we could do this. Can we do this? And shout out to all the people, tip of the cap, who helped make it work. And, you know, the Mets won the game, and it was a magical night here at Citi Field. And I'll cap it with this, everybody. On August 31st, 2022, Timmy Trumpet came and he played Narco live for us to all enjoy at Citi Field. And people like to point to that date as the day, oh, it all fell apart. Vito, I'm sorry. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. It had nothing to do with why the 2022 season went off the rails the way it did. Nothing at all. And what happened on Friday was amazing, unique. You should all have enjoyed it. I hope everyone did. That's why you need to be at Citi Field all the time, because you never know when something awesome like that is going to happen. You don't get that experience anywhere else. And this season is not going off the rails because we had fun and we enjoyed something and we honored and lent into something that was unique and cool and fun and awesome. And that's what makes this organization different.
How long did he just talk for?
I'll keep going.
How long was that?
I'll keep going.
Look, I'm just going to say, I want to end this episode soon. I want to go edit this. I've been here for 12 hours today. Outside of, it was still a good homestand. It was still like look, Edwin Diaz gets suspended. You have a very limited bullpen to deal with. I mean, like, that's a gigantic deal.
Look, losing him is bad enough. Not being able to replace the roster spot, I mean, it's just a kick in the you-know-what.
Look, and, like, I'm not taking anything away from anybody. I'm not trying to pile on a player, but, like, I think if Edwin Diaz wasn't suspended, you would not have seen Festa in a situation that he was put in today. Like, that's just a fact of the matter, correct?
Yeah, look, Daniel Nunez wasn't available today after he, you know.
A lot of guys aren't available because when you're basically 2 men short with a suspension like Diaz, because not only do you not have Diaz, but you also lose the roster spot. Sean Reed-Foley went down. Drew Smith went down. We still don't have Brooks Raley, who went down preseason. I mean, like, this team has dealt with a lot of injuries over the course of a year, and that's baseball. Injuries are common. Injuries happen, but, like, you have to understand the offense is still. I would say this: if we were just not hitting any balls, if this team was just flat on both sides of the plate, I would say then maybe you can be worried. But you still see the offense coming out and doing everything they can to win games. And as long as that's happening, they're putting you in a position to win every game. Don't forget, this team was getting no hit until the 6th inning. And then what happened? They came out, they scored 4 runs, and they tied it up. And you know what? For a second there, it really looked like things were going to work in our favor. They didn't. But 16 times this month, 16 times this month, things worked in this team's favor. So we're going to throw into an episode, an interview.
Wait a minute. Let's cap with one more thing.
Are you going to go on for 10 minutes again? Because we have a time limit now.
Yeah, I know, but we're going to stay under it. This is a massive stretch coming up right here. 18 games. I mean, Mets don't have an off day up until the break. They go 4 in D.C., 4 in Pittsburgh, come home for 3 with D.C., 3 with the Rockies, and they come out of the break, 3 in Miami, then they go to the Bronx. This is a massive stretch here for the Mets. This team has answered the call. We talked with Mendy. You guys are about to hear it about ups and downs in a season, how you deal with it, how you manage emotions, and just to manage all of what goes into 162. It's the craziest sport because no other sport gives you that many opportunities to bounce back. And the Mets have just that opportunity. The Nats, the Pirates, they're right there in the National League wild card, like we've talked about. So it's a big road trip. It's a big span of games coming up. What more can we ask for? This is why we watch every 7 o'clock, every 1 o'clock, every 4 o'clock.
11 o'clock on July 4th.
11 o'clock. Oh, that's right. The Mets are in D.C. on July 4th.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. I'm looking forward to that.
That's crazy. Yeah, they've never played the July 4th game.
Yeah, they have.
When in D.C.?
Not in D.C.
That's what I'm talking. No, the July 4th game is the Nationals 11 a.m. game.
Yeah, I thought you just meant on July 4th.
No, they've played on July 4th.
I know. I'm glad. Well, you know what's funny? Until a few years ago, like Major League Baseball didn't really make July 4th a priority, which was crazy.
No, some teams are still off on July 4th.
I know.
It's a Thursday. It's not everyone's playing.
Yeah, but there was years where there was like only one game on July 4th. Like only one prime time. Like that's like July 4th should be like Christmas Day.
What are your July 4th plans? You're a city guy, so you don't barbecue, you don't go to the beach.
I have a grill.
That's illegal.
No, it's not.
It's not.
If you live in
rooftop?
building complexes, you're allowed to have grills.
Rooftop.
You're also allowed to have grills on a balcony if they're electric or like some other things. But yeah, I have a grill. I grill more.
You grilling?
I actually don't know. My wife wants to go to her friends in Connecticut, but that's like an hour and a half drive there and back. And I'm new to this.
You got a car.
And we have to talk about when we're gonna record. Like I don't know. Like
that's Getaway right after.
Well, yeah, but like I don't like. What are you doing on July? Like, do you want to record?
You're asking my plans back. You're reciprocating the question.
Yeah.
That's so nice. I have no idea. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. I'm gonna sleep in a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Okay. Anyway, this is just getting. We're
All right,
wasting
let's
time. We
go.
have a time
Carlos
limit.
Mendoza interview.
So here you go. Here's an interview with Carlos Mendoza. We're not going to see you on the other side. We're just going to get out of here. I'll say this on the other side of this, but I'll say it here anyway. You can like and subscribe, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. We're also available on the Mets YouTube channel. I'm Vito F. Khaleesi on Twitter. He's JMB9191. Thanks for listening. Listen to that Carlos Mendoza interview. It was great. He really went in deep with us, talking about a bunch of guys on the team. Tells us a really cool story about how the OMG Performance came together and who was behind it. He also talks to us about his relationship with Joe Espada. So stay tuned. Listen to this interview with Mendy, and we will see you back here on July 5th. Even though we'll be recording on July 4th, we'll see you on July 5th. But enjoy Carlos Mendoza. Hey, it's Vito Khaleesi and Jonathan Barron. We're here meeting at the Apple again, once again, with manager Carlos Mendoza. Now, Carlos, let's just take it back to the beginning of this homestand. Yankees are in town. How is it to reunite with your old friend Aaron Boone and under the circumstances that we ended up having?
Yeah, it was kind of weird. Yeah, because we saw them in spring training, and it's spring training games, and you've seen so many familiar faces. You've seen Booney, obviously, but now it gets to the real action. Game counts, and it was kind of weird. Just saying hi, and then just quick checking in on him, and that was about it. Because he knew I needed to do my thing. Knowing that he needed to do his thing. So yeah, it was just good to see again so many familiar faces, a lot of people that you have a lot of respect for. But at the end of the day, 7 o'clock came, and you needed to be ready to play a game and get a W. So I'm glad the team played well, and but yeah, it was kind of awkward.
You had a lot of people who had to make sure they were going into the right dugout and wearing the right uniform that day, right?
I don't know.
No, a lot of former Mets, a lot of Mets who used to be Yankees, a lot of Yankees used to be Mets, a lot of
but and I thought the guys handled it well. Obviously Bader, Sevi, and guys like that with Otto. But yeah, it was kind of like the same for them, like saying hi and things like that. But at the end of the day, we got to take care of business. So,
well, that was exciting, and it was the first of a few exciting things that have happened on this homestand. Of course, the second one Friday night, great night at the park, fireworks, but of course punctuated by Jose's post-game performance. OMG, it was just a really special, unique thing. Take us through it from your perspective, just seeing the guys out there and the camaraderie and all the excitement around that.
Yeah, I think the way everything came together, because it was perfect timing. The sun's coming out that day. We have fireworks at the ballpark. We ended up winning the game.
Yep.
And the night before, on that team event, Iglesias goes out there and sings for the activity, right? And then the guys go out there, and then they were like, "Hey, what if we do it at the stadium in front of a home crowd?" And Iglesias at first was like, but if we ended up winning this game, I might do it. And but yeah, it's such a unique day, special day, obviously, and happy for him because not only he's playing well, but now that his son came out and he's becoming a real deal here. But yeah, it was good to see the boys supporting him.
Yeah, top of the charts. And I was telling Vito this. The guys all coming out in that moment, and we talked about this a few times ago when we last spoke with you, that his persistence, and he didn't have to keep playing ball. He's had a great career. He could have just focused on music, but it really seems like it's more than just the song. It's the guys all coming together and celebrating, Jose's persistence, but all that's gone well since he's come up. It's really a beautiful thing. How tight-knit of a group is this? And is this the tightest-knit group you've ever seen in baseball?
I don't know if it's the one that I've been a part. I've been in pretty good teams where, they're really good guys and good group, and we came together pretty fast. But this one's right up there with, based off my past experience, and it says a lot about that locker room, about the quality of the people that we got here. And Jose has been a huge part, since he joined the team. He brings a positive vibe. And he wants to win. This is a guy that's been through a lot this past couple of years, and he kept going. He kept going when it was hard, even this year when we delivered the news in spring training that, hey, you're not making the team. And it was a tough decision for him because obviously the family, and he didn't need to go down there to AAA and prove people that, hey, I could still play in the big leagues. And he did that. And that's why he was so emotional when he first got called up because, man, hard work paid off here. You know, I'm happy to be here, and I'll do whatever it takes. And since that day, man, like, it's been just different. And, you know, again, a lot of good people there, but just continue to add great quality human beings. And Jose being one of those, we're seeing it now.
Yeah, you know, something he said to us was that he spoke to a lot of guys who had retired and they regretted it. And that they kept saying to him, like, they still had baseball left and they left. And you hear a lot of guys who retire and then maybe a year or two later maybe try to make a comeback or try to take another run at it. But for him to realize in that moment, wait, I still have ball left in me, is really special. But after the Yankee series, we have the Astros come in, and Astros manager is another friend of yours. You had two like people you've been pretty close with over the course of your career, and that's Joe Espada. Did you get to catch up with him at all over the last 2 days?
And, you know, this was kind of like a different feeling because I know what he went through as a player, as a coach, and how long it took him to get to this position. You know, same thing from my end. You know, we grinded in the minor leagues for a lot of years.
Pensacola Pelicans, right?
Yes, and then, you know, we were out of affiliate baseball, you know, and we were teammates, we were roommates, and, you know, I remember those long bus rides, you know, going from Pensacola, Florida, to all the way to El Paso, Texas, or South Paulding. You know, we're 20 hours on a bus to play the next day. You know, looking back now, it makes you appreciate it even more, you know. And then he went back to affiliate, I went back to affiliate baseball, and then, you know, our careers kind of took similar path. You know, I was able to coach for him in winter ball, and then we worked together with the Yankees when he was at the big league level. I was in the minor leagues as the infield coordinator, and for him to, you know, get that position, and now, you know, for us to go to home plate as a big league manager and, you know, being able to exchange lineup call, like, I was very proud of him, and you know, so something that you cannot take it for granted, and but happy for him, and yeah, so wishing him good luck after today.
And you guys, obviously, you just said you go way back, and both of your teams this year have had kind of similar trajectories, tough starts, ups, downs, up, downs. I mean, that's a baseball season, right? How do you, as a manager yourself and then with the team, try to manage all the highs and the lows that a baseball season can bring?
Yeah, you have to be consistent. You know, that's the key at this level, especially when you're going through 162, and you know that you're going to go through some tough times at times. You know, there's going to be tough stretches where adversity will come, and you just have to stay consistent. You have to stick to your process. You have to trust your players, your personnel, because at the end of the day, you know you got really good players. You know you got a really good people. You got a very good coaching staff. And, you know, just stick to your process and then always finding ways to get better. I think that's the key, especially when things get hard, that, you know, okay, how can we get better in different areas? Knowing that you trust the guys, you know, at the end of the day, we'll come out of this. And I'm pretty sure Joe went through the same thing, knowing that this is a team that's been in playoff for so many years, deep in playoff, and pretty good roster. So, yeah, I'm glad that they were able to, you know, turn the season around the same way we're doing it here, but understanding that we got a long ways to go, and we just got to keep things, you know, one day at a time, keeping it simple, and continue to have fun, continue to prepare, and yeah, here we are.
Now, one of those, not tough times, but a challenge ahead is last week, Chicago, Edwin gets a 10-game suspension. You have to deal with that. How are you looking ahead, even though you have to always look at a full season with your bullpen management, but how are you looking at that 10-game period when you have Sean Reed Foley go down, you have Drew Smith go down, and you have to just like really try to make magic out of that bullpen right now?
Yeah, part of, I'm just saying, you know, you're going to go through some adversity, you know, 162 plus, and here we are, you know. You hate to see it, you know, when that happened on Sunday night, and now we're playing a main short, and then you're losing a couple of guys because of injuries, but we've been saying it from day one. You know, guys will step up. Guys going to have to continue to get opportunities. It's going to take more than the 40-man roster when you show up to big league camp. You're going to go through 50, 60 players, you know, and we will continue to cycle those guys through it. They will continue to get opportunities. They're going to have to get big outs. I'm pretty confident that, you know, the guys that we got current on our roster have that ability. And, you know, I feel good about it. and we'll get through it. Edwin will be back, and guys will step up. So,
One guy on the mend is Kodai Senga. What can you tell us about Kodai? I know it sounds like he's going to make a rehab appearance soon. So what can you tell us about where he's at?
he's progressing well. I like what I'm seeing out of him. He threw a live EP the other day. He's scheduled to throw a bullpen today before he goes out potentially in the middle of this week for a rehab assignment already. So that's a good sign, and hopefully everything continues to progress accordingly, and hopefully we see him back on the mound and contributing to the team.
And we've seen him in the dugout, really into it, cheering on his teammates at the center of it all. What's it like seeing him, even though he hasn't been able to contribute on the field, still being a rah-rah guy and mixing it up with his teammates in a great way?
I saw that, and that's a good sign because that means he knows he's getting close. He's part of the team, obviously, when it's been hard for him, especially when we have to go on the road and he has to stay back and he hasn't been a part. But now that he sees how the team is coming together, and I love seeing Senga in the dugout with a smile on his face. If we can get him here, it could be special.
Another guy who's been doing a lot of smiling recently, Jeff McNeil. Last week in Chicago, he was putting some good swings on balls. That Saturday game, he hit a ball to right field. Wrigley kind of juts out, so he just missed a homer. But it looked like he was finding his swing again, and it's really translated this weekend. Hits the big home run. What have you seen from Jeff?
Yeah, look, he hasn't been easy. Not a secret. It's been hard for him pretty much a whole year. But the one thing that he never stopped working, and he continues to grind, and he continues to looking for ways to how can I get out of this, how can I get better. So credit to him because it's not easy, especially when he got loud. But continue to show up, continue to grind, continue to work, and finally, the past 10 days or so, we've seen the better version of Jeff McNeil because we knew, you just don't forget how to hit like that, This is a guy I've been saying, I won a batting champ not too long ago. All the confidence that, we'll get the Jeff McNeil that we know he could be. I like where he's at. Good to see him get good results because the other day he had a really good game where he hit 3 balls in the nose right at people. And that's hard, because you want results. But understanding that, hey, your process is good, what you're doing is good, keep working. And then for him to get a 3-run homer the other day was huge for him, for the team, and we need him. If Jeff McNeil clicks, now we're talking about
a long lineup.
Yes, a pretty deep lineup here.
And one important part of that lineup is Francisco Alvarez, who just from the second he got back here has inserted such energy. And you see it from the second Francisco walks into the dugout with that day's pitcher. He's giving everybody fist bumps. He's firing everybody up. He's screaming. What's it like to have a player like Francisco Alvarez on that team, even as young as he is?
Yeah, it's pretty impressive because of the age. He's only 22, and for him to be able to take charge and lead not only a pitching staff, but, the position player group as well, the offense, the power is real, but the way he's controlling the strike zone and laying off some tough breaking balls on 3-2 counts and things like that, that's pretty impressive. He continues to make adjustments, he continues to mature. Obviously, we know the framing. I know he could shut down a running game because of his arm. And he's not afraid to make adjustments. This is a game of adjustments. And, if he sees what the pitcher's working or what's not working, what the hitters are trying to do to him, and the conversations in the middle of an inning. So pretty impressive, and I'm just excited to have him on the team.
And then a guy who has battled this year to get back his spot is Mark Vientos. And Mark Vientos, other night, 451-foot home run. What's it like seeing a kid just be able to figure it out at a level like him? And, we talked last week, him getting that walk in a moment where
The bases loaded walk.
Bases loaded walk, where we've seen Mark Vientos before, where last year he had some problems to plate, but this year just really figuring out and really having a good eye for the ball. Like, how is it seeing a player click like that?
Yeah, look, another perfect example here of, keep your head down and go to work, because it's been tough for him since spring training, getting sent down, then came back up, got sent down again, and here he is now getting an everyday opportunity. But his adjustments, he's come a long ways defensively, but offensively, we knew the power was real. Where every time he puts that barrel on that baseball, it could go a long way, and we've seen it, right? But the way he's laying off some breaking balls versus right-handed pitching, we talk about that walk the other day against the Yankees, but I like how he's controlling the strike zone, but at the same time staying ready to hit the fastball and do damage on pitches that he could do damage with. So again, credit to him. That's a really good sign, and it makes our lineup a deep lineup, and that's what we're seeing as a whole offensively.
Got a big road trip coming up here. 8 games, Nats, Pirates. What's the look ahead to the trip?
Every game's important, We're getting to a point here where we're approaching the All-Star break. Our approach is continue to take one game at a time, one series at a time. Don't look too far. Just take care today. Control the things you can control, and that's the approach that we will take. So looking forward to this road trip and for the guys to continue to play well.
All right, well, Carlos, thanks so much for joining us. You can listen to this podcast on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. We're available on the Mets YouTube. Carlos, great luck on this road trip ahead, and we'll see you when you get back.
Thanks, guys.
See you later, man.
All right, man.